Good evening, everyone. We at Renu and Ram Academy, we are a newly formed academy and we provide classes for UGC NET, Paper 1, Commerce, Economics and Management. So this is our first YouTube video. In the course of the next 2 months, we'll be covering the previous year questions related to the Paper 1 and Paper 2 Commerce. So we are starting with the Unit 10, which is Higher Education. And in this first part, we'll start with Ancient Education System. So there are 10 questions related to ancient education system. Let's solve those questions today. And tomorrow we'll be solving questions related to the ancient universities in India. Okay, so we'll start. So the first question for today is related to Prakrit language. The question here is, the Prakrit languages have similarities and differences with Sanskrit in many ways. Prakrit language, when formalized for literary use, their variation from conventional Vedic language was dash. So they are saying Prakrit was started as a spoken language. Now they are moving to the literary form, written form. So what is the written form of Prakrit language? That is the question here. So if you see, we have 4 options: Pali, Arthamagadhi, Upper Brahmasha and Hindi. The right answer here is Upper Brahmasha. So it is not only our aim to study only the right answer, but we will also discuss the other options too. Now let's understand from the other options. For example, if you see Hindi was evolved around 7th century. And we can say that it is a mixture of various languages which were present in North India during those time. For example, it can be said that certain words are from Sanskrit. Okay, and it is also a direct descendant of various forms of Prakrit. Prakrit was used in various forms. For example, there are certain evidences from the written text during the Gupta period. Gupta period is known as the golden period for dramas. So dramas were mostly written in Sanskrit. But unique feature of this dramas is that, be it a drama of Kalidasa, or you might have heard about Kalidasa's dramas like Abhijana Sakuntala and all. So similar to Kalidasa's drama, there are also persons like Sudraka. Sudraka is one person who wrote a drama called as Mirchakatika. Or Vishakhadatta is also one of the writer who wrote a book called Mudra Rakshasa or Devi Chandraguptam. All these books, if you see, there are 2 languages which have been given. One is Sanskrit. All the elite group of people, they will be conversing in Sanskrit, whereas the common man will be conversing in Prakrit language. So if you see, even in the dramas, we can see Prakrit is being used by the common man. So Sanskrit earlier used to have this written form, but now Prakrit is evolving the written form from Sanskrit. So if you see here, the evolved form of Sanskrit without, the grammar or without the proper use of grammar is Upper Brahmasha. The word Upper Brahmasha means corrupt in Sanskrit. Okay, it means corrupt in Sanskrit. So Upper Brahmasha is like a corrupt form of Sanskrit grammar. So it has similarities. The Prakrit written form Upper Brahmasha has similarity with Sanskrit, but we can say it is a lower form of Sanskrit writing. Okay, so Upper Brahmasha is the answer. Apart from this, there is another option called Arthamagadhi here. See, during the Gupta period, the various forms of Prakrit were used. So one form is Suraseni. Suraseni is a spoken form of Prakrit, which was used in Mathura region, the present-day UP region. And similarly, this Arthamagadhi is also one of the spoken form of Sanskrit, which is widely used in Awadh, the present-day UP, and the Bundelkhand region. Okay, so we can say that Arthamagadhi is a form of spoken language of Prakrit. Coming to the next one, Pali. Pali is actually a written language. It is spoken as well as a written language. So if you see, most of the Buddhist stories will have Pali language. It is said that common people were speaking Pali. And the Buddhist text, for example, there is a text called, Tripitakas. There are 3 books which are considered to be the sacred textbooks of Buddhism. So all these 3 books of Theravada Buddhism, Theravada is a subsect of Buddhism, is written in Pali language. Okay, so for our answer, it is Upper Brahmasha. I hope you understand all the other options also. So we are moving on to the second question. So second question is, the medium of instruction in Vedic system of education is Sanskrit. Simple, there is no explanation either, it is Sanskrit. Coming to the third question, Banabhatta's Kadambari. Banabhatta is a person, he wrote a book called Kadambari. Good education has been described as having knowledge of 64 kala or arts. Among these 64 kalas, which among the following subjects were included? So options are given: only arts such as singing and painting, only arts and occasional courses, arts, occasional courses and medicine, arts, occasional course, engineering, medicine, mathematics, and scientific and other subjects. See, this Banabhata's Kadambari describes arts as not only subjects. They are not only subjects which we study, but it also contains other type of skills which a person needs. It contains things related to singing, painting, and also the soft skills. Nowadays, if you see, we are going for campus interviews, so there is soft skill is needed, like communication. We are doing group discussions, we are going for debates. All these type of soft skills is also mentioned in this book. Not only that, the professional courses like medicine or engineering is also mentioned. And occasional courses, if you take occasional courses, one best example is carpentry or tailoring. So all these are mentioned in this Bhanabhatta's Kadambari. So in fact, we can say it is a multidisciplinary system of education. So this 64 kalas is compiling all the types of education activities. So we can say it is a multidisciplinary in nature. So the answer here is option D. So this question was asked in 2021 examination, and various shifts were conducted in 2021, and in each shift there is some question which are relevant to this Banavatas Kadambari. There are three questions actually. The second question, if you see, it is similar to this one. See, the question here is which of the text gives importance to multidisciplinary education. We have just seen this Kadambari is having 64 items or kalas arts, which comprises of various fields of education. So the answer is D Kadambari. So other than that, let's also understand about other options here. Abhignana Sakuntalam is a drama play which is written by Kalidasa during the Gupta period. It talks about the life history of Dushyant King Dushyanta and Sakuntala. Coming to the next one, Veda. Rig Veda is the first Veda. It is the oldest Veda. And in fact, it is called as the first testament of mankind. Okay, so Rig Veda, it is somewhere between 1500 BC to 1000 BC. And we can say it is like the Veda of praise. Okay, it contains various lyrics related to the praise of the various forms of God, be it nature like Indra, Agni, Vayu. And similarly, it also gives some glimpses of the society during the Rigvedic period. And if you see, this term Veda means it comes from the root word with, which means to have knowledge. So knowledge, to know something, to have a knowledge of something is actually Veda. Okay, and this is called Vedic period. Vedic period is a period where Rig Veda has been created, and the later Vedic period is one where the other three Vedas are created. So later Vedic period comprises of three Vedas. One is the Ajur Veda, other one is Sama Veda, and other one is Atharva Veda. Okay. Moving on to the third one. Third one, we have Upanishads. See, Upanishads can be said as the commentaries or interpretation of the four Vedas. And in fact, Upanishads, the term Upanishad means you are sitting in the feet of a guru and you are receiving the education. Okay, you are actually in the grace of your guru and you are receiving education. That is the word Upanishad means. So Upanishads are considered to be the highest philosophies of mankind. It contains various philosophical things. Okay, for example, I will give you one example here. We know the Indian motto, okay, is Satyameva Jayate. Satyameva Jayate, which means truth trembles. Okay, so this Satyameva Jayate, the term was first mentioned in an Upanishad called Mundaka Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad. So we have nearly 108 Upanishads, and one of the Upanishad is Mundaka Upanishad, which gives the term Satyameva Jayate. So Upanishads are considered to be the highest philosophical text of ancient India. Now, moving on to the next question. See, Banabhatta's Kadambari describes education as how many type of arts? So we know it is 64 types. Okay. Moving on to the next question. We have two lists here. So list one contains A, B, C, and D, ancient Vedic education, post-Vedic education, Brahmanic education, and the Buddhist system of education. Now, this list two will contain, okay, just give me a second, I'm sorry. So this list too contains the various, characteristics of those education. Okay, now if you see, we have A, B, C, and D. Let's start with understanding the each era first. First one, if you see ancient Vedic system gave importance to Gurukulas, and there was no much difference between, the students of higher order or lower order. If you see, okay, students are treated similar. Okay, but the knowledge what they are going to have or the experience what they are going to gain in the Gurukulas are said to be the same. So, if you see here, here we can say that the major aim of the ancient Vedic education is to provide knowledge and experience. You have to understand what is happening. You have to do it in a practical way. Okay, for example, they have taught archery. Okay, they have taught the various, duties which a person has to do in his adult age. So all these are given. So if you see, the ancient education system is related to knowledge and experience. So in this options, we can connect with A 2. When A is 2, if you come here, we can eliminate all the other option, because first option is having A is 1, second option is A is 4, third option A is 3, and fourth option A is 2. So we can eliminate A, B, C together. So by getting one answer, or by matching one thing, you will be able to eliminate the other. Okay, coming to the next one, post-Vedic education system. See, post-Vedic education system is one which depend upon, there is something called as supremacy of Varnas during this period. During the Vedic system or the pre-Vedic period or the Rig Vedic period, we don't have the exact division of Varnas. Anyone who is doing one occupation, he will be classified in one Varna, and he doesn't have any strict division. We have Varnas like Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. But if you see in the later Vedic period, this Varna system has become very complex and it has become very strict. One who is born in that Varna, he is deemed to be in that Varna only. So here what happened? The Brahmin supremacy or absolutism of Brahmanism came into existence. So they created various rituals. And the ritualistic worship was the main form during the post-Vedic period. Okay, or in the later Vedic period, we can say. So here, what happened was they initiated that real knowledge for someone is something where you need to understand what the soul needs, or you need to understand what is the relation of the soul with the world. Okay, some absolute type of knowledge is required. So what the post-education system said was, you have to eliminate all the other falsehood, okay, or you have to wipe out all the other type of problems which you have in mind, or issues in which you have, or any type of identity crisis. So understand what the soul needs. What is the purpose of the soul? Then you will attain salvation. So salvation can be attained through various activities. It can be through rituals, or it can be through the karma marga or jnana marga. So we have so many things, right? So post-Vedic system is related to knowledge resulting in wiping out of falsehood. Coming to the next one, Brahmanical education. So Brahmanical system of education, the main thing is to build a good character. You have to live a disciplined life. You have to have a good character. So the answer here is C is 4. Coming to the next one, Buddhist system of education, it is very easy to understand. See, Buddha actually said that everyone is equal. There is no caste differences. There is no difference between men and women. So in such case, everyone is treated equal. And this Buddhist system of education also treats equality. So equality was the foundation of Buddhist system of education. Even if you don't understand other three, just understand that Buddha is actually a torchbearer for equality. So when you understood that, you will automatically have this answer, which is answer D. Okay, moving on to the next one. The next list, we have 4 members here, and we have the list here. So these are the name of the persons, ancient India, and the subjects which they were dealing with. Now, coming here, the first one is Charaka, Shrushruta, Varahamihira, and this is actually Kannada. Okay, or in other words, Uluka. Okay, let's start. So let's start with Kannada or Uluka. The starting of any universe is atom. Okay, atom is a small indestructible part. okay, which is the starting of any activities in the universe. That was the major physics what we have also studied, right? Atom is indestructible, it cannot be destroyed. That was the major physics which we studied. Similarly, Kannada is an ancient Indian philosopher. He gave a philosophy called Vaisheshka. So Vaisheshka philosophy actually gave the importance of atoms. In fact, we can say Kannada is the father of Indian physics, okay, or the atomic physics. So D is one. When you connect D is one, you will automatically get the answer, which is C. We can see the other options also. We have Charaka. Charaka is the ancient Ayurvedist. In fact, he is considered to be the father of Indian medicine. He wrote a book called Charaka Samhita, which contains, various Ayurvedic practices and methodologies. So A is 2 here. Coming to the third one, Shrushruta. Shrushruta is the father of Indian surgery. And in his book, Shrushruta Samhita, various tools which are used for surgery and even the dental implantation and, the plastic surgery were mentioned. So Shrushruta is actually for surgery. And Varaha Mihira is for astronomy. So we'll study more about Varaha Mihira in the upcoming MCQs because we have MCQs related to the ancient signs also. Okay, so the answer here is option C. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following are the ancient Indian treatise on science of medicine? So we have seen in the earlier questions, Charaka and Sushruta. Charaka and Sushruta Samhita, both are the treatise of science. So now if you see A is there, so when A is there, you can automatically eliminate option 1 and 2 because A option is not available there. So we have to see whether B and D is there. So if you see the B, Sulva Sutra. Okay, Sulva Sutra is actually a part of, there is a book called as Shrauta Sutras. Shrauta Sutra actually talks about the various rituals, or we call it as homums, which have been conducted for various, natural forces like Agni and other type of natural, gods, we can say. So a part of this Shrauta Sutra was Sulva Sutra. Sulva Sutra is considered to be the first text on geometry, and it contains, it is the oldest Indian geometrical text also. It contains various, sizing or the length of the triangle, circle, rectangle, and all those things. So Sulva Sutra is automatically a book on geometry or mathematics. So B is not the answer. So when B is not the answer, you can eliminate option 4. The answer is A and C only. Yoga Sutra, the yoga. Yes. Moving on to the next question. Very easy question, similar to the last one, what we have done. Which of the following is an ancient treatise on mathematics? So we have seen Sulva Sutra was the geometry textbook. So geometry is a part of mathematics. So you can say D, Sulva Sutra is answer. Okay, coming to the other options here, the first one we have Nyaya Shastra. Nyaya means anything related to justice. Nyayam we call it as, or Nyaya we call it as. It is justice. So the law book can be called as Nyaya Sutra, or in other words, there is also a philosophy called as Nyaya philosophy, which is based upon logical reasoning. So we'll study about this philosophy also in the next classes. Now, coming to the remaining two, one is Samakya Karika and Samakya Prachana Sutra. Samakya is also an ancient Indian philosophy. There are 6 ancient Indian philosophies. So, Nyaya is one, Yoga is one, Samakya is one. Okay, so Samakya Karika is actually a text which is written by a person called as Ishvara Krishna. Ishvara Krishna was the person who wrote the Samakya. So it contains various philosophies or various, interpretations of the Samakya philosophical school. This one. The second one, Samakya Prashavana Sutra. It is also called as Samakya Sutra. So this is a collection of the various philosophies. It is considered to be a collection of various philosophies. So the Samakya Karika is a part of Samakya Prashavana Sutra. So Samakya Prashavana Sutra is one term. So under this, we have various philosophical books which are written. So one such book is Samakya Karika. Okay. Next. Very easy question. Charaka is known for his Charaka Samhita, which is a medical treatise. Okay, others, if you see, Dharma Sutra is related to Ra, Ashtadhyaya is a grammar book, and Jataka tales are the tales of Buddha, okay, the early lives of Buddha. Yes. So these are the first 10 questions. We'll meet in the next class. We'll continue with our discussion on the various philosophies of ancient India. And we'll also talk about, the astrology and, astronomy and other scientific part of the ancient India with respect to the PYQs. Thank you all. Do share and subscribe. Thank you.